Okay, we're live. Joseph Kutlowski's here. What's up, Joseph? Um, it's been a rough hour. The last 2 hours of my life have been really rough. So I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be live. Glad to be 4 o'clock. Just had the cream truck. Yeah. So I was able to catch it on fire with my torch, and sure enough, man, it lit up like sterno, and it burned for about 2 minutes, and then it went out, and now I'm sure there's no more alcohol left in it. It smells completely alcohol free, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna warm it up. I'm gonna try to pour as much of it as I can into this container, and then I'll use probably my dabber to do the rest. I just kind of want to warm it up and get it so it's melty here. I might just use my torch actually. Get it kind of warm here. There we go. Make it a little bit more runny this way. And now I'm just going to pour it right in. That's all, man. Just pouring it right in. Let the hot melted oil just drip right out. Hey, Tula, Merc, Megsy, Treasure Coast Toasty. Hey, freaking Oracle. What's up, everybody? Let me turn on the That's a little hot. I can't touch that right there. I can touch it there though. Let me turn on the notification here. There we go. See if that works. So there's still a good amount that's left inside. So I'm going to use my dabber to scrape out what's left. And we will get it all eventually. Wow, it's amazing how nice and thick it is now. Now at this point, you could dab this stuff, but I don't recommend it. I mean, it'll get you high, but it won't taste good, you know. You can even, put this on top of your cannabis flower that you're smoking, and that'll work too. Nice, and this is incredibly thick. It's amazing how thick this THC oil is. I want you to see. I'll give you an example here. And see how thick it is. You can literally just hang it off the dabber. See that?
Freaking Oracle show. Use it in butters.
Yeah, you can use it in edibles. Absolutely. If you're making edibles.
Round 3.
Thank you, Nick.
Coasty Toasty Waters. Toil downpour in St. Lucie County. Lots of fun. Treasure Coasty Toasty Waters. Cheers.
Cheers, buddy. It's the best is to use a tool.
Gallery.
Once you've used heat the most and it's not helping anymore, you just use a tool like this.
Pasquarello.
Ice.
What up, man?
What's up, brother? Just getting ready to make some triage oil eventually. I got my black oil, bro. I'm gonna be saving it up and making some triage, bro. And I gotta tell you, it's amazing how much oil I've already got here in Florida. It's amazing how much cannabis oil I've got here. Wow. There is still a little bit in there, so let me use my lighter and try to melt this off of here. Off my dabber.
Brown. Replying to Mike Pasquarello, cheers Iceman.
What's up, Ice? Yes, I am just in the process of getting this oil. Look at all that, man. Look at that. Right? It's my triage oil, magic oil. Out of here, you can see I almost got it all out. There's a little bit left in there.
Pasquarello. Replying to Mike Pasquarello, cheers Nick.
Like this. Look at that, another nice drop. Every single one of these drops is so important. You know, if it only takes 15 drops or so to make an ounce triage oil, you know, every drop matters. Especially when you're in the beginning stages like this.
Coasty Toasty Waters. Iceman, 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 cheers son.
Okay. Alright, I'm good for now. I'm just going to set this aside. This can be
83.
scraped
Drop
up.
lives matter.
Drop lives matter. That's right, drop doesn't matter.
Coasty Toasty Waters. LOL.
I want to clean this off completely because I'm going to be dabbing off of it. Here we go. Great. And I will get to the rest of the I'll get to the rest of cleaning that out later. You know, that'll be cool to do that.
Rose. My computer CE has some stank time for Listerine.
Your computer voice has some stank time for Listerine. I don't get it. Oh, it has some time for Listerine. I got you. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab some of this.
Rose. My computer breath has stank, it's time for Listerine. Treasure Coasty Toasty Waters. Yeah, you got me on that one.
Okay. Here we go. We got all this. Not very happy with my accountant.
Coasty Toasty Waters.
Fucked up. Cost me
Gross
a lot of
darling.
money.
Billy Valentine. The AI has taken her account and doesn't understand human breath. Mike Pasquarello. Cheers Toasty.
It's fine. Okay.
Rose. I'm a sexy computer man with stank breath.
Happy 710. Everybody. I'm on the cool down. Right now it's still too hot. Shaving a little bit before the show.
Rose. Gargle gargle swoosh swoosh. Juoso. 410 here bro, 10 more minutes I just toked.
Steve. All right, cheers, guys. No law regarding cannabis. Iceman, I'm so glad you're here, brother. Cheers.
Sea fishing. Cheers.
That was a big dab. That's going to kill me.
Oh, virtuoso.
Cheers.
Legal VA 21 plus smoker here. My driver's license is good until March 8th, 27.
Nice, bro.
LOL.
Congratulations, Steve-O.
Oh, virtuoso. I'm 36 now and 1/4 since yesterday.
Holy moly. Tasted good.
Rose. Bing bang.
I'm so sad. My spring turned out to not be a spring. My
You're
friend Mark was like,
Hi nay.
you sure it's just not water coming up underneath the ground a little bit and coming back out there? And I'm like, no, I'm not sure. I'm going to go check that tomorrow. He's like, all right. Sure enough, he was right, man. I brought the level of the creek back down to normal, and the springs stopped flowing. So they're not springs, they're just water going under the ground a little bit and then coming back out further down the river a little bit. I was so sad when I realized that. But that's not what really ruined my day. I told you guys that was a big ass dab. I wasn't joking. It was a huge dab. It killed me. That's the kind of dab size almost as big as Iceman does. It's about the half size of a dab that fucking Pinoy grower does.
Oh, virtuoso.
It's a fucking maniac.
I got a backyard that goes downhill to a swampy forestry creek called Mason Creek. It's beautiful.
Mason Creek, man, sounds like a song. Go down on Mason Creek. Things were looking bright, but then they got bleak. On Mason Creek. Just for the record, let's get the story straight. Me and Uncle Tom were fishing in Mason's Creek. It was late.
Oh, virtuoso. Virginia. Laughing out loud.
Virginia.
Valentine. There'd Mason Creek, Shriner Creek, Illuminati Creek, and KKK River. Lisa Fearney. Cheers.
I get it. That's fucking hilarious.
Rose. I like to dribble my Listerine.
Dude, that's a well-written joke, Billy.
Oh, virtuoso. I hear the West Coast water gets colder than the East Coast. That's funny considering the West weather is warmer than the East, haha.
Alright, I'm almost recovered.
Oh, virtuoso. That's funny, Billy BC. I'm deaf, not listening to my granddad's demo, lol.
I like to dribble my Listerine. Jeez Louise, man. Almost recovered, I said, right?
Oh, virtuoso. Usually I spit, haha.
Yeah, I could use like a dabber tool, like those paddles, the blade, paddle blade.
Valentine. I've been cleaning the lab all day. My cat pissed in there and I can't pinpoint it. Puked twice already.
Wow. Look higher up. Look higher up on the walls, bro. They like to spray on things and objects. Get one of those paddle blade wax carving kit tools, and I'll be able to get the rest of that a lot easier. This one is just a tiny little spoon, but there's a few more drops. You can
Dab
totally
sweats
see.
hardcore.
You got dab sweats, Lee Helm. Hell yeah, brother. Isn't that cool? That stuff turned really thick. So I get some coconut oil and peppermint oil, and I'm in the game. I'm making triage oil. You know, for my mom. My mom can have all the triage oil she needs. You know.
Oh, virtuoso. You could always big flame lighter or tool. It might pick some that leftover up.
I already did that. I'm using that tool to dab with now. I cleaned it and then I wiped it on a napkin after I got it hot and dripped all the oil off of it. Bitcoin's at 21.7? Is that true?
Oh, virtuoso. Yeah, only so much you can get when you're down to that last slick in the jar.
Right? Yeah, that's why that wax carver kit, you get like everything. And you can use a lighter to warm it up and drip it out, you know. The torch can work too. And it doesn't hurt, it decarboxylates it when you get it that hot, you know. But it's already decarboxylated oil. I could hold a lighter, you know, underneath it like this, and warm the whole bottom up, you know, and try to melt it, but...
Oh, virtuoso. The heat on tool ID do overall.
I'm going to use a razor blade. I'm just going to take a razor blade. It's going to scrape that really good. Just a regular flat blade. That's going to get almost all of it. And then I'll just use a lighter to melt that off into this.
Oh, virtuoso. Oh, and what are showing too? Oh, virtuoso. Razor, of course.
Yeah. It's a matter of having access to the right tools. Yeah. Today at like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock this morning, I went out on the driveway and I picked every single weed that was coming up through the pavers on the whole entire driveway. It wasn't that bad. There weren't that many. There were some really big ones, but they came right out. And almost every weed that I'd say...
Oh, virtuoso. Would you have to possibly heat the razor, nay?
after. Not before. You don't do it. You cold scrape it and then you heat the razor up to melt it off into the jar. I'd say 70% of the weeds that I pulled out of 170%, that the whole weed came out like a spike. But the grassy ones don't do that. So there was a few grassy ones. So, like I said, all the other weeds though, they came right at me. I made the driveway look really good. I took my mom out there and she looked at it. I was like, show me where all those weeds were coming out of the pavers. She's like, there's one. And I went over and I plucked it. She's like, there's one. And I plucked it. I missed a couple. And then she walked over and she was putting her hands on her hips. I was like, I already got them all. She's like, wow. So that was cool. I weeded the driveway.
Valentine. Spread salt on the pavers and let the rain rinse it down. Will keeps the S away for a while without poisoning.
Dude, I got fucked on something, man, really bad. And it just sucks. I can't really talk. I guess I could talk about it. I don't really want to talk about it. And there's only 12 people here, so I guess we could talk about it. There's not a lot of people here. But, so, I pay quarterly my taxes.
Valentine. Or tell True Green about them. They'll jump on that shit. Valentine. What happened?
I pay my taxes quarterly, so I'm supposed to pay quarterly payments to the IRS and to the Franchise Tax Board of California, which is the governing board that collects your taxes in California. They're called the California Franchise Tax Board. And they take a lot of money from you. Just like the federal government does. When you earn a lot of money, they take a lot of money. So, my lawyer's job is to estimate how much money I'm going to make that year, and then give me 4 payments to estimate out, to make it easy for me, so by the end of the year all my taxes are paid. Right? I got 3 coupons that tell you what to pay that said 000. It's not uncommon. Sometimes you have months where you don't have to pay. And then I had one month that was like thousands and thousands of dollars. I was like, okay, I'll pay that one month. I paid that last year. And I was like, 000. Okay, I'm not paying on these other 3. Well, turns out that those 000, they should have been...
Hey, nay.
They should have been, those 000 should have been 6,000, 6,000, and 6,000. That's what they should have been.
Working. Billy Valentine. AHH. This is why your accountant is on your shit list.
This is one of the things that ruined my
Griffin.
day.
All the chowder money.
I had a lot of shit happen to me today. It all just piled up on me all at once. And it's a weekend, so I can't contact my accountant. This is not the only thing that happened to me today. My email account got hacked again a week later. So right now I'm scanning for a keylogger on this computer. And I'm going to have to scan my smartphone, I guess. I'm sure they could put a keylogger on a smartphone, right?
That's pretty shit, man.
And it gets worse. And I have to come up with a large sum of money for an reinvestment back into the company that I own. You know, all that shit hit me basically.
It's to you.
Boom.
Afternoon nay. DM me if I can help in any way.
Thank you for offering that. No, you can't help, but I appreciate
Leo.
you offering.
Yo nay, what's up, bro?
So, my mom is helping me a little bit, which is great, man. And I'm just gonna have to contact my accountant on Monday and see if we can work this shit out, because they fined me like $1,500. They said those fucking coupons said 0 on them, man. I looked all over
Valentine.
those motherfuckers.
I'm sorry, brother, people are dumb. Even the ones you need to be smart. Not your fault.
Thanks, brother. Kind of need that right now, bro, because it's been a rough fucking day. It's like, what? You know, I don't even want to ask what's next, you know? Yesterday was bad. Today was almost as bad. And then, you know, you realize it's not that bad, right? Nothing that I can't handle. It's just, it's unexpected, man, you know? It's fucking thousands of dollars of crypto that I would not be owning right now. But, you know, I took extra money and I bought crypto with it.
Valentine. I try to remember that even the people handling your affairs are still in it for themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's crazy. I got set up. I got set up for failure, bro. And I got the fucking coupons to prove it. You know? I've got the coupons to prove it. They said 0 on them. I was like, why didn't they distribute this throughout all 4 of them? This is so weird that 3 of them say 0 and one of them's got all this money on it. And I paid that little bit. It was a little bit more than a quarter of the total, I believe. The 24 hour is showing a rise in Bitcoin. There was a couple hours ago, there was a big spike, and then it came back down. Now it's starting to slowly go back, keep going up.
Valentine. Instagram robs me blind and I can't wait to see how they file my 1099. Lee Helm. That's like a huge kick to the balls.
It is. It is. I was in the creek all day. After I got done with the driveway, I went right in the creek. I figured out those weren't springs. I was like, fuck, man. I told you yesterday when I tested the water was the same, remember? There's just a
Leo.
tiny...
Good luck, Nay.
There's just
Hope everything works out for
Thanks,
you.
Tommy Dom. I appreciate that, brother. There's just like a tiny little bit more particulate in what's coming down the creek than what's coming out from underground. Just a tiny bit more. But that's because it's filtering underground, man, you know?
Valentine. And the people that can actually help are in front of a mirror deciding between goatee or mutton chops. Rocks 1 SMF. Hey.
Hey, Rocks. Oh. Oh.
It's to you. Your defense against penalties for you, not your ACCT. They may get penalties or warning letter, or nothing, because you relied upon professional advice. Ask for a waiver of penalties. Dominic Leo. Yeah, that's true.
But wouldn't my accountant know that? Won't my accountant get a waiver of penalties for me? Fucking $1,500
Valentine.
penalties, man.
If you do witchcraft, it might go away. Nah.
That'll be funny. My accountant's like, no, there's nothing we can do. And I'm like, well, I heard that I could have a waiver of penalties because I was trusting you to do my taxes for me. And they'll be like, oh, yeah. And I'll be like, hey, hippie chick, you're right. They didn't know about that shit. You did help. They acted like they didn't. I don't know. We'll see what they say, man. I've been working with them for years. I may have got stung a couple times today while I was down the creek. It's okay, I'm fine.
It's to you. Should if they're good and take responsibility.
Yeah. I owe them for this year's taxes too. I owe my accountant. I need to pay the bill. And the penalties I got from the IRS are higher. Not the IRS. It's the Franchise Tax Board. Not the IRS. Just realized that. It's not the IRS.
Perk 83. Charlie the banker will put you to sleep.
Moneybags. I'm thinking... It was the Franchise Tax Board of California. They're the ones. They're the ones that are penalizing me. I don't know if that form waiver of penalties works with them. It's not the IRS. State of California.
It's to you. Make sure you keep those 0 receipts for your records.
Oh, they're not going anywhere. I might be able to pull those up on the online thing that my accountant has. There might be copies of those there as well. It'll say 0 on them too, I'm sure.
Perk 83. You should explain to him exactly what you do.
He knows what I do. My accountant? He knows what I do. He loves this shit. He asks me about it all the time. How's your show going, bro? The show was a good tax write-off when I was spending a lot of money on it. I don't spend money on the show anymore. I mean, $1,000 a year on the Restream. Now I have no other expenses except for that, really. Before there were a ton of expenses. Tons. Man, I had written off so much stuff. When are you gonna come down? When are you going to land? I should have stayed on the farm, should have listened to my old man. You guys have a good afternoon. I'll see you for the 7 o'clock show. I love you guys. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you had fun.
Leo. Cheers to that.
Bye, guys.
Brown. Hashtag keep it open.